So in today's video, we're going to talk about moving from Texas to Arizona. For whatever reason, we do have a lot of people that move here from Texas. So whether you're coming from Texas or another state, we're going to start out with talking about the homes. We're going to finish up the video talking about healthcare, wildlife, bugs, snakes, weather, and any other facts that you need to know for living here. Most here are going to be made from 2x4s and stucco with some stone accents. Forget the brick homes you see in Texas, you're not going to find any of those here. It really amazes me when I travel to Texas and see the homes and what you can get for the price. It's definitely going to be more expensive here. My brother's home in Houston was big on a big lot. Everything in Texas is big. You really won't find that in Arizona, at least not anymore. The trend here is becoming a little bit more modern on some of the home construction. New construction here may differ from the homes built in the 60s where they were block homes, but you don't see the brick. So one thing that's different here is you won't find the picket fences and a lot of green grass. We're getting away from that. We're going more to a desert landscaping to save water. Between the properties, you're going to see more cinder block walls, at least in the more luxury communities. Not every neighborhood's going to have those because the builders don't want to spend the money. So not every home is going to have a block wall, but once you have one, you're really not going to want to be without them. They create great privacy. Green grass is a dying thing in Phoenix. We're attempting to save water. Did you know that most of the water issues in Phoenix come from people's watering systems, watering system leaks, or watering at the wrong time? When you read that Phoenix is running out of water, that's a little bit of fake news. We have more water right now than we've had in the 90s. We did recently have some water issues for one community in North Scottsdale. That was not on city water, and they had to truck in their water, and their supply was coming from Scottsdale, and Scottsdale cut them off. They worked it out. But in general, anywhere in city that you're going to have water supply, it's going to be a 100-year water supply certified by the city. You can watch our video on that. We'll post that right up over here, and you can see the details on the Phoenix water supply. So two-story homes, you're going to have a lot of those in Texas. Arizonans tend to hate the two stories. It all started years ago because there was so much vacant land. Subdivisions and lots were spread out. Many retirees in Arizona didn't want to climb the stairs. Most of my clients who are in 55-plus communities won't even consider a two-story home. Some developers are building communities with both options. They'll build an area where they have two-story and single-family homes and then build a section with single-family homes only and charge a premium. On the new infill homes and construction, residents hate when a builder comes in and builds a two-level home right next door to them. They don't have any more privacy in their backyard. Some of those may be exhibitionists and like that, but everybody else hates it. Another surprise might be the front-facing garages, which are common here, and the electrical panels on the sides of the home are not in the garage. Many people are freaked out by that. They think that the neighbors can come up and turn off their power. Next, don't forget about the climate. It's hot here. Your air conditioner is going to be your best friend. You need to give it regular maintenance due to dust and dirt buildup. Plus, consider solar screens on the outside of the home. They're dark screens that keep the sun off the windows. Desert landscaping is really becoming more and more popular. We're using more stone and gravel around the home with natural trees. It's not for everybody. A lot of people don't like the brown of the desert. If you like really green, Phoenix may not be the place for you. If you really want to see the most beautiful desert landscaping, go up into North Scottsdale and don't forget to go up into the mountains. Not every part of the valley is going to have mountain views, but when you do, you never get tired of seeing them. We have some of the most amazing sunsets here, and they're worth seeing. Arizona has some of the best skies I've ever seen. So wildlife. In many parts of the valley, it's not uncommon to see coyotes, rabbits, hawks, and other desert critters. Certain areas even have mountain lions, bobcats, snakes, and scorpions. Yes, snakes are, native to the desert, especially rattlesnakes. When you're hiking and stuff and you're out in remote areas, you need to be careful. It's not anything like being in Florida or Texas, though, where you're going to find them moving around everywhere and out on your porch in the morning, except for certain areas in town. Now, don't forget scorpions. That's one thing you will find here. and if you live in a home that has them around, you're probably going to have a hard time getting rid of them. Anytime you've had an issue with scorpions, you're going to run across them at some point. They're very territorial and they don't like to leave the area. Bugs. One thing that we have less of here is bugs. I used to live in Atlanta and I traveled a lot to Florida, and Arizona outdoor living is about as good as it gets for everything out of doors because you don't have bugs bothering you everywhere you go. If you live in the high humidity, you're going to have more bugs and they're always going to be annoying you. In Arizona, we do spend a lot of time outdoors eating, and you won't be bothered by anything but a few flies. It's nothing like Florida or Houston where you're going to have a screened-in patio to be outside. Termites, yeah, we have them. They're just about at every home, and you need to keep an eye on it and get your home treated. Now, property taxes. Arizona has some really low property taxes, and the cities are laid out in a grid, which is very easy to get around. But be prepared for the Arizona drivers who drive a bit too fast, and then you have the opposite where you have a lot of retirees. License plate fees here, but they're not cheap here. It's based on the value of your vehicle, and the more expensive your car, the more you're going to pay every year. Healthcare. Overall, Phoenix is a newer and growing area. Because of the number of people that retire here, we have some great healthcare, and it's pretty abundant around the valley. We even have one of the most popular hospitals in the world, which is the Mayo Clinic. So now let's talk about the weather. So we know Arizona is hot, but what's the hottest part of the year? What's the hottest part of the day? What are the storms like? How about the rain? Summer is by far the hottest, but there are two different types of hot. The dry heat, yes, there's such a thing, and then the humid heat. For me, the hottest part of the year is when our temps are over 105 degrees and we have humidity. That's our stormy season that we call monsoon. 110 degrees and dry does not hold anybody back in Arizona from going outside and doing things. You could even go into a shady area at 110 and it won't feel that bad. The one thing you do have to deal with here is the sun, and it's going to be beating down every day in the summer. Avoid it at all costs. Wear sunscreen and a hat. You'll definitely need a good dermatologist on your doctor's list, and well, surprisingly, we Arizonans are freezing in the winter months of December and January when it can get down in the 30s. Our blood is thin after a hot, dry summer. Also, there are huge temperature swings between the low of the day and the high due to the desert. You won't be finding any Arizona residents using their pool in the winter unless it's heated, and most here are not heated. And when you get out of a pool in Arizona, even at 100 degrees, you're going to be cold. In the winter time, we laugh at ourselves and wonder how all these people are going in the pools when they're not heated. Now, don't be surprised by the summer monsoon storms. They bring impressive lightning storms and even dust storms such as haboobs. What makes summers unbearable for some of the residents? The humidity. When we get humid weather with 110 degrees, then it's very hot. It's a lot like Texas. Texas has a lot of humidity and has some pretty hot summers. Most residents here will go out in the morning to avoid the heat. They'll jump in the pool during the day and after 8 o'clock in the evening. So now we'll talk about a few things you didn't know about Arizona. Number one, Arizona has some cold spots. We have skiing in the winter up in Flagstaff and a couple other places in northern Arizona. And Flagstaff is only a 2.5-hour drive from Phoenix. During the summer, if you can afford it, a lot of people here are going to have a second home somewhere a little bit further north for cooler temperatures. Prescott, Flagstaff, Payson, those are some popular areas. And don't forget we have the Grand Canyon. Just remember, Arizona is more than just a desert. It's a vibrant and unique state with a lot to offer. So if you're considering a move, keep these tips in mind. Enjoy your new adventure in Arizona. Thanks for tuning in today. Watch some of our other videos and don't be afraid to reach out to us if you have any questions on anything. Have a great day.